Well, hello there. My name is Blade, and let's rank my watch list from 2025. So, I'm going to be keeping this intro very brief because I just filmed the entire part of ranking the movies, and I mean, you've already seen the timestamp. We're here for the long haul. But I will be ranking everything I watched in 2025. And I just want to make it very clear this video does not include movies that came out in 2025. It is just movies that were like new to me. I barely first watched them for the first time in 2025. I just think it's fun to do so, reflect on them, tell you what I think, like rank them in a fun way. If you're curious what I thought about movies that came out in 2025, you can either watch my reviews of them or my Blades Best in Show little like film award show that will be coming out next month.
Okay, so let me break down the categories. I think they're similar to last year, but we've updated a little bit. Also, let's just not pay attention to the ads. Okay, I didn't want to go through the trouble of getting an ad blocker. I know I need to, but let's just we're just gonna ignore it. We're just gonna ignore it. Okay, so S tier category is I'm mad. Now you might be thinking, how is that a number one, like top tier category? Well, because I'm mad that I have not watched this until now. Like I'm mad that this is my first time seeing this. Like how could I not have seen this until now? This is like an amazing movie. Next we have in B tier, or no, A tier. Oh my goodness.
Well, yes.
I think that's self-explanatory. It's like this was really good. I really love this. It's just not like a oh my God, blew my mind kind of movie. It's not like a five star, like it's not in like my top movies I've ever seen, but like great. Then we have a goodie, which is good. Like I enjoyed it, but I'm not like writing home about it. That's the B tier. Then we have C tier, which is this is a movie. It's not necessarily garbage. We're just not necessarily like live, laugh, loving either. And then lastly, we have well, no. The exact opposite. Well, yes. I also think self-explanatory. This is just a movie that was just no. No on all fronts. No. So let's begin. I did put these in here, like when I put the files in here, I put them chronologically in the order that I watched them, but for whatever reason they're not in here chronologically, so we're just gonna go in the order that they're in here. So first off, we have Blink Twice. I think I'm gonna put this in a goodie. Um, it's a good movie. I just don't totally love it. I think it's better than Opus, like so I think of like those types of movies, this is like a mid-tier one. And also it's just kind of a lot also, and I do like the subject matter of it, but it is like a lot, and I just wish if we were going to be doing all that, it was more of like a well, yes. But the thing is like if I was ranking it based on like how good of a movie it is, it might be a well yes. But if we're just talking about like how I personally feel about it, like I think it's just a goodie. I would recommend checking it out. But I think it's a goodie. All right. Next we have Clown, which I think is like a 2009. It's like an indie borderline B horror movie. Now I've technically seen this before, but it was so long ago that it's one of those ones where like I watched it again last year and it might as well have been like the first time. So that's why I included it and why I put it on my watch list. I think this is also gonna go in a goodie. Inoffensive horror movie, also I think creative idea, like the gist behind it, I think is he finds an old clown suit or something and he puts it on and then he starts to like turn into this clown and has to like devour children. So I think creative idea, not necessarily like brand new idea, but brand new to being a clown. I don't think I've ever seen that with a clown before. And it's a good time. It's a fun horror movie. It does say fuck them kids though. So like if you're very like you can't like stomach that in movies, like definitely don't recommend. But this is a fun time, inoffensive, a goodie. Okay, next we have one that I'm gonna put it in well, yes,
Well, yes.
because I think that's how I like feel about it overall. But I will say I am also mad that I barely watched it last year. Now this is It's What's Inside, and I'm gonna put it in well, yes, because that's just how I feel about it. Like it's not like a masterpiece. Like I'm mad that I haven't seen this before type of movie, but I am mad that I didn't watch it when it came out in the year that it came out. It definitely would have been in my like Blade's Best in Show for 2024. Like it's a little hidden gem. It takes the idea of like imagine like Freaky Friday mixed with Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Like it's like Freaky Friday where we're trading bodies, but there's like the friend group toxicity drama element. It's so fun. Like this is a really good like it's one of those movies that I think you would see the trailer that you would put on, just not expecting much from it, and then be like, what the fuck? Like why is this so good? It's on Netflix, so I really recommend this one, especially if you're into like bodies, bodies, bodies type of like comedic style. Ooh, okay. Next up we have Revenge, by the director of The Substance, Corley Farja. I'm gonna put this in well, yes, because I think this is really good. Now this is a I don't know what word I could use in to substitute this. It's a revenge movie, and if you know, you know what I mean by that. It's very oh god, what's the name of that movie? It's very I Spit on Your Grave, like that type of movie, something that should not happen to anybody happens to this girl and she decides to get revenge on these men. Now, typically these types of movies are not the greatest, they're also a lot. But this one, I think, thanks to Corley Farjat, is really good, really interesting, really entertaining, and also it feels like everything that happens in it feels warranted. It's also very the directing and like the cinematography and the color choices have a lot of symbolic purpose, and for being this type of movie it does also have like a little bit of a like not fun in like a campy horror fun, but fun in a different kind of way of just like rooting for the situation. And I think just overall this is an impressive movie because to make this type of subject matter palatable in this way, I think is really impressive. Also, I think this has like an all-timer chase sequence. So yeah, it's gonna be a well yes for me.
Well, yes.
Next up, we have one that I honestly don't really know what to do with along for the ride. I want to put it in this is a movie, but I don't feel like it's bad enough to necessarily warrant this is a movie. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in a goodie. Now, like if I'm talking about like rewatchability, like for me it is like this is a movie, but like I feel like I can't discredit it that low. So I'm gonna put it in a goodie. It's fine. It's like one of those movies like the After movies, the quarterback and me. Like one of those kind of just like Wattpad vibe stories. And this it's just kind of like inoffensive out of that lineup of like those kinds that category of movies. It's just not one of the like the better ones. So like it's just gonna go in a goodie. So next up we have The Idiots by Lars von Trier. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even really know where to rank this because I almost feel like there's two ways to talk about this movie. There's the way that I feel about this movie personally, and then there is like the controversial aspect of it. So I think I'm going to put it in this is a movie because it's Lars von Trier is a controversial director in general, but I think this film in particular is a little bit more controversial because it's been a while since I watched it. I think I watched it like about a year ago. It was like January, February. And The plot basically, it's a dogma movie, first of all, but it revolves around this group of people who essentially commit their lives over to what's like the right way to say this? They see, like, I may even just talking about it, it's like tricky territory. They pose as if they are people who are I don't know if this is like the correct term anymore, but people who are special. Like they have some type of mental handicap going on. So I don't really think I need to explain why that's a little bit problematic. That being said though, I mean I watched it and I think I kind of understood what it was trying to get at because I do think that ending is honestly pretty like interesting and I like that that's where it went. But I guess my question with this movie is just like why? Like I don't know. I just think but I mean and as far as the filmmaking goes, it is a dogma movie and I do think that that's I'm very into that aspect of it, but I think the subject matter is just very tricky and I don't even really know like how I still personally feel about it. So we're just gonna go ahead and put it in this is a movie. Okay, so next we have The Silence, and this is just well no. Well no, like we're not it's just it's bad. I love Stanley Tucci. I love Kieran Shipka, but this is just a no. I like honestly, this movie is so bad that I thought I watched it like I thought I had already talked about it in the previous video of this for 2024. Like I just thought it was that long ago since I had seen it and it's not good. Like it's very like it wants to be Bird Box so bad, but it's like really really not. It also wants to be A Quiet Place really bad and it's really really not. It's just a big no for me. Okay, next up we have a movie that like for some reason I feel like it's gonna be controversial that I like it so much, but that is Into the Wild. I'm gonna put it in well, yes. I'm tempted to put it into I'm mad, but like that's a bit much. Into the Wild, it follows, it's a true story of this guy who he grew up quite, not like, I don't think he was like a millionaire per se, but he grew up in a very affluent family and he's very like anti all of that. So he like throws his whole life away to just like live off the grid. Um, I wouldn't say it's not controversial, but like I guess the thing that people have a disdain over is like him like his choice to like live into like go into the wilderness. I guess some people view as like a privileged thing to do, and it also I think he also had a lot of mental illness also that was not like that was mentioned in the memoir, like the book that it's based off of, but not really in the movie. So, but just as far as a movie goes, I personally enjoy it. The editing is like very of the time. It's a 2000s movie, but I really like that era of filmmaking. So yeah, I just personally really like it as like a film. If we're talking about the like translation of real events to screen, that could be a different conversation, but purely talking about it as a movie for me it's a well yes.
Well, yes.
All right, next up we have one that I'm actually very excited to talk about. I talked about it a bit ago in a random film recommendation video, but that is Yannick. It is a French film. It's very short. I think it's only like an hour, like 10, 15 minutes or something like that. But honestly, this is a well, yes. This is just so much fun. I love the idea. I love the way that it's done. The whole concept is just this guy. He works like 6, 7 days a week, I think, as a night guard, and he has this one night off finally, so he decides to go see this play, and he does not like the play. Like he thinks it's terrible. So he's like, I'm gonna hold this place hostage and we're gonna workshop this play. And that sounds so insane, and that's exactly why I love it. I think the idea is so fun. I also enjoy that they understood that that idea would be really hard to stretch out to 90 minutes. I love that they kept it an hour 10 or whatever the actual runtime is. It's just all the performances in it are good. So if you have movie and you don't mind reading subtitles, which I've said it once, I'll say it again, get over and just read subtitles. There's so many great foreign films out there that you guys are missing out on because you don't want to just read subtitles. I mean, you have subtitles on all the time in English and you're not even reading them, so what's the harm in watching a foreign film? I digress. But this is just so much fun. I love it. And also, additionally, I think what I enjoyed about this is I was already pretty much done writing my short film Glimmer, and there was just so much shared DNA between these two films that, like, of course, if I was writing something kind of in a much darker but similar vein, of course, I was gonna love it. So this is a well, yes.
Well, yes.
Okay, I guess I really have a lot of movies I guess I watched that are kind of controversial in the beginning of the year. But we have Man Bites Dog. And I'm gonna do something that I don't know is like crazy or not, but honestly, for me, I will indeed be putting it in I'm mad. Now, let me elaborate. I don't I generally speaking, I think people do have appreciation for this movie. It's an earlier found footage. It's not really found footage, it's more like mockumentary, but it's an earlier version of that. It's like a 90s came out in the 90s, so it wasn't really when we had a lot of that going on. It was still in that era of like all that really existed was the last broadcast and the Blair Witch Project. So this is very like ahead of its time. And I think that what I enjoy about this film though is it reminds me of Butterfly Kisses and the way it deals with the concept of like how complicit are we in things, because these filmmakers follow this serial killer, but as time goes on, and when I mean follow, they're like following it. Oh, hello? Anyway, um, they're following this serial killer, so they are, watching him do like really horrific things. So then the question becomes, with them being so like, at what point are they not just merely observing? At what point are they like complicit in this? Now, the controversial aspects of this film is there's just some moments that are very dark. Like there's some moments that are really, really dark. But I think that was maybe more a product of the time because I feel like nowadays the type of stuff that it has in it really is not all that crazy, especially in comparison to other films that I think push the envelope a lot more, like a Serbian film exists. But I think just as a I feel like it's responsible for a lot of things that came later, and I think it's very daring. And I think the way it's done is very impressive. So for me, honestly, like it is an S tier. Like I'm mad that I barely watched it now. It's very like up my alley. So much so that I got it for Christmas. I have the Criterion collection release of this on DVD. So for me personally, like it's an S tier. So I'm not sorry. All right, next we have how do I feel about this movie? I think it has to go in This Is a Movie, even though I don't want to do it, but we have According to Greta, which is like a little late 2000s movie starring Hilary Duff, who, while iconic, Miss Hilary Duff, is like severely miscast in this because she does bring her Hilary Duff flavor to this movie, which we love, but like I don't know if it was like the right vibe for this movie. Um, she just plays a teenage girl who's like kind of troubled and gets sent off to her grandparents on this. I don't think it's an island, just like a small ocean town. And like I just feel like me saying that, like we've all like seen a thing like that, read a thing like that, and it's not bad. I just can't put it in a goodie because I just don't ever really see myself returning to it. And it's just like it's just kind of fine. Like it's not a lot to say about it. But I do have a lot to say about this movie, which is Past Lives, Celine Song direction. That is gonna go and I'm mad. Like I'm very mad that I barely watched it for the first time last year. This movie is great. I love what Celine Song does between this and Materialist. I think she just makes really so deeply like intimate human stories, and the way they look is beautiful, the way they sound is beautiful. At my 2023 like little like mock award show I gave Past Lives my pick for my favorite score of that year. Like her movies are just they're just beautiful. And it sounds dumb to call movies, I always say it sounds dumb to call movies human, because obviously like the majority of movies are about like human stories. We're human. But when I say human stories, I mean just the way she is able to make them feel so intimate and like emotionally um vulnerable, and just so like I don't know, you just leave her movies like just feeling a certain type of way, and they're so beautiful. I love this movie. If you haven't seen it, very much recommend. It follows these two characters who they grow up, and one of them leaves the country to the US and the other one stays behind, and then they reconnect later. And there was like a little bit of like a love thing at some point when they reconnect over the internet, and then she eventually meets somebody else, and it just I don't know, it just is this really interesting human. I can't really like find any other adjectives, but like it's just a really beautiful, intimate, touching story with an ending that is so like subtle, but like still like packs a punch. I just really can't say more about this movie. It's on my wall. Like I love this movie. Next up, we have just like a little fun time with We Bought a Zoo. Now I have seen this before when I was younger in the movie theater, I believe with my grandma, but like I did not remember it, so it's the first time like it's similar to one of the other movies. It felt like the first time I'd seen it really might as well have been. And honestly, this is a goodie. Like it's inoffensive. It's I think like late 2000s, early 2010s, like Matt Damon movie about his family lives on a zoo. It's just one of those nice little heartwarming, touching stories. Nothing really like negative or like overwhelmingly positive to say either. Right. All right. Next up, we all know if you've watched this channel, the 36 of you that are here, if you've watched this channel, you know how I feel about this movie. This is Drugstore Cowboy, and let me tell you what. Immediately going into I'm mad. I'm not ranking them in the categories, but just for the sake of it, we're putting it in first place. Because very much mad that I barely experienced this movie for the first time last year. I love this movie. It entered my Letterboxd top 4. Like it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Now that I have been exposed to it, um, I love Drugstore Cowboy. In fact, I have a shirt now of it that I found, authentic vintage. But yeah, I love this movie. It follows Matt Dillon, which I also love Matt Dillon. He plays this guy who runs this little group where they go to different drugstores and rob them, and then first of all get high, but also sell it. And I'm not gonna say too much about like how we get to this point, because it'd be like very spoiler alert. But he comes face to face with something that makes him want to step away from that life. And I just love this movie. I love the dialogue. I love, oh my God, the way I adore the editing. There's just some really cool shots that I remind me of some of my own like work and like inclinations of my own like artistic eye as a director. So I think that's also what really attracted me. I love the score in this movie. Like I love this movie, and I'm mad that I barely experienced it for the first time last year, but I'm grateful I have now seen it. Next up, we have Strange Darling. Now, I am mad that I barely watched it for the first time last year. I wish I would have seen it when it came out. But the way I personally like feel towards it as a movie, I think I'm just gonna put it in a goodie. Like because I'm just talking about how I personally feel about these movies. I'm not ranking them based on quality, because if quality, it'd be more like in a well, yes, I think this film is very impressive. It's just not something I necessarily wish to like return to and like watch a whole bunch of times. But this movie is really, really impressive. I'm gonna avoid saying like too much about it because I think you should go into it blind. And I also, it's kind of tricky to talk about it without giving away too much. We'll just say it is a cat and mouse between two people, but the story is not told to us in a chronological order. It's broken up into like five different parts, and at all five different parts, it's like at a different point in the timeline. And that could turn into a mess really fast, but it really doesn't here. I think it's done in a very compelling way. I think it makes the movie even better too, because I think chronological cut of this would be good, but not as good. Like this is just very, very impressive. And if you like daring experimental horror, definitely recommend. Do not watch a trailer. Do not look up a synopsis. Like just let it happen. Next up, we have Deadbeat at Dawn. And honestly, for me, I think this is a well yes. It is an older, like I want to say like maybe like 78. Could be 80s actually, but it is an older film. It's very, very like B movie, like not the highest quality, but I really adore it. It's a bit more on the brutal side, not the whole time, but like towards the end, it's like, whoa, like it's getting pretty brutal. Um, it follows this guy who he, I believe he is in a gang. He tries to leave the gang. Obviously like the other the current like the still current gang members are not about that. So they try to kill him. They end up killing his girlfriend, and then he like wants revenge. And I really enjoy movies at this time period. And I don't know, there's just something in the flavor of this that I really enjoy, and I find the brutality actually like adds to it and makes sense in the story. It's not just like crazy for the sake of being crazy. Just yeah, I don't know. I just for me this is a well yes.
Well, yes.
Okay, I used to be funny. Similar to a few other ones, I am mad that I barely seen it for the first time now, but I'm gonna put it in well yes.
Well, yes.
It stars Rachel Sennett, which I love Rachel Sennett. I've said that on here before. It is a SA related story, but I think it's done beautifully well. I think it has some also like comedic elements that are very true sometimes to that experience and reconciling with that. I love seeing Rachel Sennett in a bit of this more dramatic role, because she's more of a comedy queen, but I like her showing her um dramatic pops, and I just think this is really good. Like it I don't know, there's just something about it that's very different than other SA stories, and it also adds in a dynamic because she's a babysitter, and the um we'll just say her relationship to the person that she watches over is very affected by this assault, and it just creates a really interesting dynamic. And I don't know, like I just really like I think this is a very good take on the subject matter. Next we have Mother's Instinct, and honestly I'm just gonna put it in well no, and I'm not even really gonna say that much on it. It's Jessica Chastain and Anne Hathaway, and Mama, the talents are wasted in this movie. It's giving no, it's giving boring, it's giving like what is this? Okay, next up we have a movie that I have covered on this channel before. I did a whole video essay on it. That is Red Rooms, another French film, and this, without question, is going into I'm mad. This is a top tier movie for me. I love everything this movie has to say about like voyeurism and our modern like fixation on like brutality and like real like true crime. I think it offers a really nuanced take on all of that. It also is a movie that deals with like the dark web, but what I really enjoy about it is like a lot of dark web stories and movies like really like over dramatize and like somewhat glamorize the dark web. This felt like the most one of the more like actual like realistic takes on like what the dark web is. I don't know. This movie is just great. It's another one where I don't want to say too much. I think just go watch it. Also watch my video essay on it. But it's great. It's a French Canadian. It's a Canadian film, but it's it's made in that region where it's like kind of mixed English French. But yeah, this is great. I'm mad that I barely watched for the first time, but I'm very glad to have seen it. Well, next we have another goodie. It's not gonna go in goodie though. It's gonna go in well, yes. That is Summer 85. Another French movie, as you can see. I am an appreciator of French cinema. It also helps that I have Mubi, so I have access to French cinema Mubi. If my channel ever like becomes like notable, please subscribe. I mean, please sponsor me because I genuinely love what you're doing and what you're curating. But anyways, Summer of 85. This is, okay. It is a tragic gay love story, and I know people are kind of tired of queer like tragedy, but this is great. Okay, this is great. It just follows these two guys. I'm not sure if they're high school age or college age to be completely honest, but I also know like the age of maturity is different in Europe. So regardless, though, these two boys meet over summer and they fall in love. Well, kind of. They enter this like relationship together, but one is more of like a monogamous. I think one's a little bit more like free spirit. And I can't say too much more because there is a plot device that's introduced like right off the bat, but I would rather you, if you choose to watch this, like experience it for yourself. So, but yeah, this is a great queer story. Love, love, love. Well, yes.
Well, yes.
Next, some of you are probably gonna be shook that I have barely seen this until now, but that is Fight Club. It's gonna go in well, yes. I am mad that I've barely seen it for the first time now because it's like such a classic, but it is gonna go in well, yes, because while I do think this is really good and I like understand why it's so popular and why people love it, and while it has unfortunately become, like a film bro movie, as discussed in my American Psycho video essay. I just I'm not putting it in the top tier because it's not one of my personal like holy shit movies. I would watch it again. I would return to it. It's just not one of my like holy grail movies. But what I will say is holy grail for me is I do love a lot of the filmmaking choices. Like the editing is cool. The twist that I can't really say that's like pretty much an open secret though. But I think that's cool. I think it's one of the more notable movies to do it. So yeah. Well, yes.
Well, yes.
Okay, next we have The Good Half. Now, this is like a small little film that many of you probably have not heard of. It stars Nick Jonas, of all people, but I'm just gonna put it in a goodie. It's a nice little movie, and I'm not saying little to like belittle it. It's just like a smaller, more like quiet release. It I don't know if it's the mother or the father that dies, but one of the parents passes away, and he um or okay, it's been a while since I've seen it, but it just kind of deals with him like reconnecting with his family, and it's just like an inoffensive, good feeling movie. Okay, next up we have Love Me. I feel as though I should put it in well no with the way most people feel about it, but I'm gonna put it in this is a movie because there are things I like about it, and I kind of think I also understand what it was going for and what it was trying to be, but it does fall a bit flat. I love Kristen Stewart, but she could not save this movie. Um, it's Kristen Stewart and Steven. I can't remember his last name right now. I'll put it on screen. They play two robots that are still going after like humanity is gone, and like the gist of it is they fall in love. Now that's cute, right? That sounds real cutesy. And at the beginning of the movie, I was loving. Like I was like, oh my god, this is so cute. But All I can say about the rest of the movie is what in the metaverse is going on. It just goes somewhere that is so utterly wild, and I do applaud the audacity of like going for that, but no, it did not land. Next up, we have The 7 Year Itch, starring Marilyn Monroe. This is the famous, dress sewer grate. It's not a sewer, I don't know, but the infamous moment.
Oh, do you feel the breeze from the subway? Isn't it delicious?
But it's gonna go in a goodie. It was like really this is my first time actually watching a movie that stars Marilyn Monroe, and I will my main comment on this movie is I understand why she was such a star. Like the first moment she was on screen, it was just like boom. Like it just her allure and her power is really like like translates to the screen, and like great actress too, but like I was just like wow, like well, like I get it. Like I was around at the time, I get it. Next up, we have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and I will be putting that in I'm Mad. Or is it Across the Spider-Verse? Whatever. Either way, the Spider-Verse. I don't think much has to be said. Obviously, the fact that I haven't seen it until now is crazy, especially as a Spider-Man person. But I watched it for the first time, literally just by chance too. I didn't even put it on. It was because of like a family thing. But I was hooked. Like this is really, really good. The only thing that pisses me off is that ending. I really think it could have just been one big, like, epic movie, or if they knew they were gonna do that, there should have been a different cutoff point. But that aside, this is as far as like animated film goes, this is amazing. All right, next up we have Everyday. And that's gonna go in This Is a Movie. This is another one of those like some like along for the ride, like Wattpaddy kind of movies. And this one actually has a really interesting premise. He wakes up in a different body every day, but it just like doesn't do a lot with that. Well, actually it does, but it just like is biting off a lot more than it can chew, I think. So it's just gonna go in This Is a Movie. Like it's fine. Oh God. Okay. Next up, we have John in the Hole. This goes in Well No. Now, to gay people, that title might sound enticing. That might even sound a little bit funny. But it's anything but. It is, first of all, John is a child, so let's get that out of the way. Um, it's kind of a, like, this is probably not the best comparison, but it's like a we need to talk about Kevin, like, sort of movie where something is not right with this kid. Um, he puts his parents and his sister in a hole. Like that's really all that like happens. And don't get me wrong, that could make for a good movie, but not a lot happens with that premise. It's really a slog to get through, so it's just a well no. Well, no. Next, we have a movie that I am indeed very mad that I saw when I did, which is Parachute. This is also another like more quiet, subtle release I've talked about on the channel before. I adore this movie. It is directed by Brittany Snow of, classics such as Pitch Perfect, X, Dawn Tucker Must Die. Also, silent banger, uh, not Truth or Dare, Would You Rather. And this is a great, great, great movie. I really want this movie to get more attention. It stars two lead actors that I also really adore from projects that I really adore. But this movie, I really love what it's doing. It is it follows this character, I can't remember her name, but she is dealing with a lot with like trauma and OCD and like a lot of like mental illness, and feel like needs to get it together. And I really like that this movie doesn't shy away from putting the responsibility on her to like get her shit together, while also making us be sympathetic of like, or maybe the better word is empathetic of that it's not necessarily like easy, even though it is. There does become a point where you're like, "Come on, girl, like we need to get together." It really makes you empathetic towards like how hard change really can be when it comes to those things, and sometimes how the people around aren't always the most empathetic towards that. It's something that I relate to. I know it's something that a lot of people relate to, and I just think this is a really well done film. Next up, we have Turtles All the Way Down. I'm gonna put this in This Is a Movie. I think it's fine. I honestly don't even really remember much about it. It's I didn't even really know like how to describe this movie, and I really genuinely can't remember that much of the plot, so it's just gonna go in This Is a Movie because I can't even think of anything to say. So next up, we have La La Land. Now, I think it's pretty obvious where this is going. It's going in I'm Mad. This is a great movie. It's not necessarily like, it hasn't become like a personal favorite, but like, I get it. Like, I get why it was such a big topic. I get why it was a Best Picture contender. I get the Emma Stone of it all. Yeah, this is like an amazing movie. That's the ending, that whole like final act thing. Oh my god. So yeah, this is a I'm Mad, and I'm just gonna use that to flow right into my next movie, which would be Parasite, which is also gonna go in I'm Mad. I find this one particularly crazy that I haven't watched it until now, but I mean, what is there to say? Like this, I would dare to say is a masterpiece. I'm glad it's a Best Picture winner, especially because I feel like I haven't really seen anybody talk about this aspect much, but like this being a Best Picture winner is crazy, not even because it's a foreign film, but just like the type of movie that it is. But this is just like this is great. I love this director. I believe it's Bong Joon-ho. And he just wow, like the commentary and the switch up and the just way the story moves, it just like tens, tens, tens across the board.
Tens across the board.
Next up, we have another movie that I want to put it in I'm Mad because I really enjoy it, but like, is it that level? I'm gonna put it in well, yes.
Well, yes.
I think I'm Mad might be a little bit crazy, but this is Candy, starring Heath Ledger. This is I feel like a very like not known about movie. I just stumbled upon it, and this is great. It's I think it's another one that, from what I recall, deals with I don't think it's mental illness actually. I think it's addiction, but I love this. I think it showcases like how addiction can like it's how it behaves in a relationship between two people and what that can do, especially if one person doesn't like is trying to get their lives together and stuff like that. And this is just a little hidden gem starring Heath Ledger that I love and definitely recommend. Okay, I think we're in the home stretch because for whatever reason some of these movies down here repeated. I don't know, but let's get into Isle of Dogs, which is it a well yes or is it an I'm mad? I think it's gonna go when I'm mad because I really enjoy this. I pretty much instantly bought it on a physical copy like the day after I watched it. I love this. Um, I apparently really seem to enjoy Wes Anderson the most in this type of filmmaking style, this like stop animation, because I also enjoy Fantastic Mr. Fox a lot, but I love Isle of Dogs. I love what it has to say. I love that Wes Anderson like dialogue. I love for a stop motion animated movie, the cinematography is so good. Like I love, 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 and that's really all I have to say. I love it all around. Next up, we have Jaws, which is another one that like I've like for sure seen in like passing, and I've definitely like seen before, but like it's like I really actually truly like sat down and watched it for the first time this year in the movie theater as well for the 50th anniversary, which great experience. It was my first time watching a movie that's already been out in the theaters. And I love 70s, 80s movies, so getting to see a movie like that on the big screen was a great experience. But I'm gonna put this in well, yes. Like, it is a masterpiece, so where should I put it? I want to put it in I'm mad, but I think just like personal feelings towards it is well, yes.
Well, yes.
Just because I don't think it's perfect, as revolutionary and as iconic as it is. It does have a little bit of a pacing issue towards the end. But I mean, I still like that being said, I love this. I love everything about it. I love the direction, obviously. I love what it did for cinema. I also just think it's a really great story, very well done. I just got it on a physical copy literally yesterday. So yeah, I mean I love this movie. Next up we have Mainstream, starring Mr. Andrew Garfield, and this could be a well no, but actually, I think it is a well no. I was gonna put it in this as a movie, but it is kind of a well no. It's like a social media movie. It also has Maya Hawke in it, and I think Alex Wolff, and it just like I love Andrew Garfield's performance in it. Very quirky, very like last thing I saw him doing. But also Maya Hawke's pretty good in this too. But it's just I don't know. There's just something about it that just falls flat, and it's also not saying anything particular new. Also, Jake Paul is in it, and I really feel like that's kind of all I have to say to like communicate how I feel about this movie. Next, we have Sound of Metal. Oh, all right. Sorry about that. I had a phone call, and it was an important phone call, so I had to answer it. But Sound of Metal, I did just get this movie a couple months ago on physical Criterion Collection, on a trip up north. This is gonna go in well, yes.
Well, yes.
I think this is a great, great movie. Love that it's in the Criterion Collection. Or is it Criterion? I think it's Criterion. I don't. Anyway, um, it follows this guy played by an actor who I adore. He is in a band or like a duo, and he's a drummer, and he starts to lose his hearing. So, losing your hearing is already like one thing, but on top of that, he's a drummer. Music is his passion, drumming is his passion. So obviously that is not good. And he has basically the choice to like um become adjusted to that and just accept his life as as deaf or partially deaf, or he can like get a surgery to bring back his hearing. And I think it just introduces a lot of interesting like more dilemmas and kind of questions about what that entails. And I don't know, I think I like the story a lot. I'm pretty sure this is Oscar nominated for several things, and I think like yeah, I agree. I get it. I love it. Next up we have Winter, Spring, Summer, Fall. This is just gonna go, this is a movie. It's Jenna Ortega and He Who Shall Not Be Named, because there's like something going on there. I don't know all the details, but yeah, it's fine. I don't think it's quite on the level of like Wattpad is like Along for the Ride or Every Day. I think it's like a little bit above that, but it's just kind of like it's just kind of fine. Like it's fine. Okay, next we have Superhost. This is well known. Like you could make the argument that it's like a fun horror movie, which is not inaccurate, but just for me personally, I just found it irritating and I just wasn't very interested, and I just thought it was like predictable and like cheesy, and I personally was not into it. Next up we have He Went That Way, a quieter release. It's gonna go with this is a movie. It does star Jacob Elordi, my diva, but it's just like fine. He plays a serial killer. There's a monkey involved. It's also a true story. His acting in it, I think, is good. I like he does like a voice, and he's a little bit more quirky than he normally is in the roles that he gets. So that was fun.
It's a monkey.
To see, and honestly, I don't think it's a bad movie. It's just like it is what the category is. Like it's just like this is a movie. Next up, we have The Sacred Killing of a Deer. I'm going to put this in well, yes. I really speed ran Yorgos Lanthimos films last year, just kind of out of nowhere. I think this is great. Like it's of his movies, I think I'd rank it more middle of the pack for me. But like I think this is really like I like the questions that it poses and the things it makes you think about. And I don't know, I don't want to say too much because I feel like it's like you should just watch it kind of movie. It's got Nicole Kidman, Barry Keoghan, what's his name? Colin Farrell. It's a great time. It's thrilling. Yeah, definitely recommend. And it's for me, it's a well, yes.
Well, yes.
Next up, we have Fantastic Mr. Fox, Wes Anderson. It's gonna go in a goodie. I do really like it. You know, I feel similarly to it that I do Isle of Dogs. I love this Wes Anderson doing stop motion. I love the George Clooney performance in this. I think this is very fun. I think it's quirky. It's just for me, it's just kind of like good though. Like I don't think it's necessarily like cream of the crop. And if I was like ranking his movies, it'd probably be like middle of the pack. Next, we have Friday the 13th, the 2009 reboot, remake, whatever you want to call it. This is going to go in This Is a Movie because while I do enjoy aspects of this and it's definitely like something I would rewatch and so it's kind of like in guilty pleasure territory for me because I do like parts of it. It's just like fine. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I like the audacity of it. But like a lot of the characters are just kind of like plain. I don't know. Like, there's just so many ways we could do Friday the 13th, and this is just like not one of my like most favorite ways. But I am a defender of like Jason X, so like, is my opinion valid? We'll never know. Okay, we're in the home stretch. This video is gonna be a pain in the ass to edit, but whatever. Like I said, long form content live on. Like long live long form content because I'm tired of little like I don't want to hear you talk about a movie in 5 seconds or less. Anyways, we have Life of the Party, a Melissa McCarthy comedy, and honestly, I'm gonna put it. I was gonna put it in a goodie, but actually, it is. This is a movie. It is a funny, good time. It's just like if I'm ranking Melissa McCarthy movies, it's like not at the top. Like it's but like I don't think this is bad though. It's just this is a movie. Okay, we have next one that I like hate that it's so deep into the video because I'm trying not to talk too much. But we have Licorice Pizza, and I don't know how I feel about this movie, so it's gonna go in This Is a Movie. Now, reminder, it being that low is not speaking on the quality, it's just how I personally feel about it. Um, I don't know, like, I like the Cooper Hoffman performance a lot. I like oh God, Danielle Haim performance. I think there's aspects of the story that I really like. There's aspects of the filmmaking I really like. I just don't really know how I feel about this. I'm not really gonna like give too many thoughts or like go on a whole like dissertation about it. I think there's enough content online about that already for this movie. But yeah, for me, it's like I still to this day I don't know how I feel about it. So it's just similar to like The Idiots. It's just gonna be like this is a movie because I don't know. Okay, next we have Dead Poets Society, and this will be going in I'm Mad, I think for obvious reasons. It is a classic. Robin Williams, R.I.P. Ethan Hawke. Um, yeah, this is just great. Like, there's not really like a lot to say. I love it. It gutted me, and I like saw it coming too. I was like, something bad's gonna happen, and it did in fact happen. Also, like queer coded question mark. I feel like it is, but I don't know if I'm reaching. But yeah, like love it. Recently got on a physical copy. Didn't even have to buy it. My friend had it and gave it to me. So yeah, I love this movie. Okay, we're just about done, but we have Don't Say a Word. Honestly, okay, the letterbox reviews on this, like people hate this movie. It's a goodie. It's a little like early 2000s like thriller. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but like I don't see the problem. Like I think it's fun. Brittany Murphy, like come on. But anyways, I think this is interesting. To me, I thought I had a good time with it. I'm not taking it too seriously. I do think it was entertaining. I had a good time with it. Interesting premise. Like I'm not as mad as it at it as people seem to be. Next up, we have What Comes Around. This is gonna go. This is a movie. It has Kyle Gallner in it. It just has like Hallmark movie vibes, and I have a feeling it is. I don't. I'm not 100. Oh no, not Hallmark. Lifetime. Hallmark would be a very different vibe. Um. Anyways, Lifetime movie, and it probably is. And like no shade to Lifetime movies, like they're interesting. That one with Keke Palmer is great, but there's just a lot going on here, and I don't know how I feel about how successful it is at all that is going on. Next up, we need to talk about Kevin. I think I'm gonna put this in well, yes. It's not like a personal favorite per se, but I do like these kinds of movies. I think Tilda Swinton is really great in it. He who shall not be named or they who shall not be named. I'm not sure, but um, is great in it. You know, I feel like that's okay to say because this is like before the craziness and also like I'm not gonna get into all that, but you know, I think this is a good story. It has it. I think it's something we don't often get in these types of stories too. That are like, we don't often get a mother who like does not seem to like their child very much. I don't know. It's very interesting, and I don't know. I just like for me, it's a well yes. That's all I really have to say on that.
Well, yes.
Next up, we have Swallow, and this is a goodie. This is a. I feel like it is like an indie horror, but I definitely think it has like a little bit of a fan base. About this woman. I don't remember if she's pregnant or not, but she like the gist of the story is she likes to swallow things that are, you know, not food like pica. And I don't know, I love the body horror here. I like what the story does. I like where it goes. I don't want to say too much, but yeah, like I think it's a goodie. I don't have too much negative, but I don't have anything overwhelmingly positive, so like it's a goodie. All right, next up we have a banger, which is The Fall. I'm putting this in I'm mad because there's even a little bit of a story as to why I'm mad. I would always see this when I would go onto like my movie, and I would always see this one, and I'm like, oh, that looks kind of interesting. Like, that looks kind of like my vibe, but I just would never end up watching it. And then finally, Movie started promoting it in like YouTube ads, and I was like, you know what? Let's like finally get into it. And bitch, I'm really mad that I haven't seen this till now. This is like peak cinema, bitch. Like it, the costumes, the set design, the cinematography, the editing, like the all of it. This is so fantastical. It also had like I this is great. It's really hard to find a physical release of this, but like I want it. Criterion, jump on it now, please. Okay, next we have Sometimes I Think About Dying, and unfortunately I am gonna put it in This Is a Movie. Now I do want to make it clear, I really appreciate this movie. I like there's things I like about it. I like the concept of it. I like the like kind of dialogue. I like the quirkiness of the main character. But it's just a little bit too simple. I think and I'm not like somebody who dislikes movies that are like quote unquote slow or nothing is happening. Like I'm not one of those people, but I think those movies often have purpose and they understand their runtime, you know. And this one, I just think overstayed its welcome a little bit, and I just walking away from it, I just felt like there was something missing. So yeah, it's gonna go in This Is a Movie. Next up, we have Good Time. This is gonna go in a goodie. I do love a safety vibe, but I think this movie is like prime example number one of like my only reservation with Safdie movies is just that sometimes the kind of like sprawling plot is not for me. I think I'm a little bit more like I want more like intention. I don't know. But I really like this score, great, editing, great, directing, great, obviously Robert Pattinson, great. It's just like a movie that like I enjoyed it, just like it's not like 100% for me. Like I'm not returning to it. And that's fine. You know, I think that's fine. All right, we're almost done. We have Manic. This is going to go in, honestly, this is going to go in I'm mad because this is the year apparently of me finding these like niche, like people don't talk about these movies. This is a small little movie from like 2002 starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and it is so good. It is him. He is a troubled teen, and he's in this like home, or not a home. It's more like a like an inpatient situation, but he's in this home with other troubled teens. And wow, this is just wow. It's like very low budget and indie, but it's so like the feeling you leave after after watching it is just so powerful. I love, oh my God, I like love the ending. I just think this is great. Like I really encourage anybody to watch this movie, especially if you're a film lover. I encourage you to watch this movie. It's just so well done. I love it. I'm also just now realizing forgot to put Mysterious Skin in here because that also has Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I forgot to put it in here. I don't know how that slipped through the cracks, but just let it be known that would also be in I'm Mad. Okay, next we have Monster. That is gonna go in well, yes.
Well, yes.
Another kind of, I wouldn't call it, I actually wouldn't say it's a tragic queer story, but it is a very, I don't know, like highs and lows queer story. I've never seen a queer story quite like this. This is another one where I'm begging, please get over the subtitles and just watch a foreign film today. Yeah, this is just great. I love, love, love. As much as I love French cinema, I love like Japanese, Korean, Taiwanese, like, just any like just Asian cinema in general, I think is so peak. Like I just think what they've got the sauce going on over there, okay? Like but yeah, this is just beautiful story. Goes in direction you don't see coming. Like it's just I really love the way it's structured, just like great. Overall, great movie. Okay, two left because of this weird repeating thing going on right here. We have I Like Movies. I think I'm going to put this in a goodie. It follows this character. He's a really obnoxious teen. He wants to be like a filmmaker and he's very like pretentious about his love of film, even though he hasn't seen some of the like the hits. But regardless of that, I think it's just a story, like it's a coming of age, but it's very in the vein of like The Edge of 17 or something like Lady Bird, where he really needs to like the attitude needs to get in check. The way that it gets in check, I think, is a little bit too smooth of a transition personally. But this is just like nice. I like this. It's definitely interesting. I think it's definitely like worth your time. It's just not like groundbreaking, like it's fine. Like it's good. I like it. All right, last but not least, Yorgos Lanthimos. We have The Lobster. This is also going in well, yes, but I do really like this. It's like if I was ranking all of his movies, it would be Begonia first and then The Lobster. I look heavy with this. I'm not gonna put it in I'm mad because I just don't think it's like quite there for me. But I do really love this. It's the idea, the concept is so quirky. You have to in this like dystopian or whatever. I don't know if it's dystopian, but in a future society, you have to find a partner or you will be turned into an animal of your choice. That is just so quirky and crazy, but it's really riveting. It's really interesting. It gets even more interesting as it goes on. And yeah, I think it's great. I really like it. Well, yes.
Well, yes.
All right. If you sat through all that, or even if you skimmed through and you're here now, thank you so much. I know that was a long video, but I personally I really enjoy long form content. I don't really mess with short form content, so I hope you also enjoy long form content. I imagine if you watch this whole thing, you do, but I've already taken up enough of your time. So that being said, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.